Okay, we are back. We're
Indeed.
making Una into a monster here. Do you want to give us a quick lowdown on what we've got
Well,
going
what we
on
can do
here?
quickly.
Yes.
Monsters generally
Yeah.
take 3 to 6 hours
Okay.
of
We've
application.
got 3 to 6
So
hours, don't we?
what we have
We're ready.
here is one of my favorite prosthetics. And you're going to see how it kind of goes from something that looks like definitely not part of her skin
Yeah.
to something that probably will just blend right in within just a couple of minutes. And this is kind of the fun thing that we have to do for films is find a way to do everything that we need to do as quickly as possible. And so the first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have any sensitivities to any glues or this is non-latex, so we don't have to worry about that.
Unless it's got kiwi in it, I should be good.
All right, sounds good.
Wait,
don't use
the
kiwi.
bird or the fruit?
So this is
Bird or fruit?
encapsulated silicone.
Okay.
And the nice thing about this stuff is that it actually feels like flesh. And silicone, unlike latex, I have a latex piece here. This is also silicone here. This is foam latex, and this is cast latex. So you can kind of see the difference between some of these items and how the light hits it specifically.
Yeah,
These are very opaque. The silicone is very translucent.
Yeah.
And our skin is also translucent. So what this does is it helps us, helps the prosthetic seem more like skin. So we got this nice spot here. We'll go ahead and tap that down. I'm not going to put as much glue as I would normally put for a film,
Gotcha.
but I'm gonna just go ahead and let's say that you got, I always try and come up with some kind of background
Yeah.
for this stuff. So
What's
like
caused
you
this
had a hatchet accident as a kid and like you accidentally like had it going the wrong way and
Who
like
would do that?
you went like this.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
think
so
axes work that
so
way,
this
but-
was like, you know, a few years old. It's totally healed at this point and we don't have to really worry about it being an open wound.
Gotcha.
I do have an open wound here, and that is fun. But I do like the way these just kind of disappear. So this is the fun part about this.
Are your parents going to be worried if you come back with this scar?
Honestly, they're probably not even going to question it. They're going to be like, oh, did something dumb.
Nerd
That's
stuff
okay."
again.
Yeah.
So this is why we call it encapsulated, is that silicone doesn't actually like to stick to anything. The only thing silicone will stick to is really itself.
Okay.
And so what we do is we encapsulate it with a type of plastic that literally just melts away with alcohol. And it's called it's Super Baldies because it was originally made for bald caps. And if you can just blend away a bald cap, you're not going to see that edge as well. So that's good. We don't want to see edges. We want to see them just blend out.
What alcohol are we using here?
This is 91%. So I could use 99% and it would go even quicker. But right now, without any edging, it doesn't even look like there's anything on her.
Yeah.
It's just barely there.
Look at
And you
that.
could do an extreme close-up on this. Now, I haven't colored it yet, so it actually needs some color in order to even be visible because those edges just blend right out, and it doesn't look like a whole lot is there. I also haven't colored this to her skin tone because it has just a little bit of color, and you can feel that.
Yeah.
It's kind of squishy, silicone-y, fleshy stuff. And
Ooh, I don't like that.
you can
That's
put
why
just a
you're the
little
one
bit
who's
of glue
here
around the
looking at me.
outside
Yeah, it's creepy.
to hold that down.
Ah,
And then go in and find just a little bit of a kind of brownish, just slightly off of her skin tone.
how old are we going for this wound?
Pretty old. It's like it's been done for some time now. We
Kinda
might
looks
put
like
just
so
a
like at
little bit
least
of. What's that?
At least 2?
At least 2 years?
No, just at least 2.
Two.
At least 2.
Just 2.
Now, how did you learn, like, I guess to blend the correct colors? Because I know sometimes like surprising combinations lead. Did you like just figure it out on your own?
Mostly experience, but you know, there's so many ways to learn these tips these days.
YouTube.
There's a great book. In fact, this prosthetic itself was sculpted by Todd DeBersini and made at our studio out of his mold. And he has a book called Makeup Effects for Stage and Screen. and it's one of the best in the industry. And so his book is probably one of my favorite how-tos around. So then we'll put maybe just a little bit of red, and I've got a different kind of makeup. So one of these makeups is alcohol-based, which is water and sweat resistant, which is really nice. And then I have cream makeup, which kind of blends a little bit different. This stuff is harder to get off, which is good. So that's why they use it for things like Pirates of the Caribbean and things where you're going to have a lot of sweat or any kind of interaction with water. And so I'll come in here and just put a little bit of a kind of a pinkish after. And then I'll blend it out just a little. I'm trying to make this a little more extreme so we can see it a little better. But really, this would be the kind of subtle stuff that I would hope nobody even notices as an effect.
That you wouldn't even think to question.
And
If only tomorrow was a school day, I could just come to school and be like, yeah,
Hatchet
Right.
accident.
you guys didn't know, but
I had this
I've always
hatchet
had
accident
this.
years ago.
Like
Yeah.
you got like Wolverine healing
And so if
powers.
you see it from the
so-
side, it's got the depth to it.
Yes.
And this, what I like to put is a little bit of chaos into the makeup. And so that's kind of like taking the brush and twirling it around and trying not to think about it too much, because we all like to, we're told to draw on the lines. And what we have to do with special effects is kind of make it a little bit more crazy so that we don't notice that as much.
I think
So there you go. We're just,
we've got about 2 minutes left. So.
all right. So I'll
our
just do
time
one
check.
last little thing that I like to do, and that's just a little bit of spatter.
Ah, yes.
And what that does is it breaks up. Now this is not like blood spatter necessarily, even though I am using just a little bit of red. What it does is it just kind of breaks up the edge, and just a little, puts a little bit more of that speckle. We all have these different speckles of color that we see everywhere. So the last thing I might do to that is just put a little bit of powder on it to reduce the shine,
Very
which I don't have
cool.
here. So.
That looks kind of inconvenient, Una. I'm sorry that you have that scar there.
I'm sorry,
from
I
your
mean-
hatchet.
Don't play with axes, kids.
Or do, if you want to look cool like Una.
Yeah,
Well, cool's a stretch.
looking pretty good, honestly.
Una likes these battle scars. This is why she's the one that gets the makeup, you know?
Yeah.
It's very nice.
God luck.
Actually.
Oh, that's the wrong arm.
Until you can get your
That's-
real one, you have to deal with this fake one. for now.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
this was Absolutely.
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Go nerds.
Yeah, woo.
nerds, right? Nerd it up.
Just a quick question, where'd the ptarmigan come from?
It is a grouse, and it was originally sculpted for famous grouse whiskey, the #2 whiskey in Europe right now. And this was a prototype. We kind of redesigned it to look a little bit closer to their logo, and so this is just part of our collection now. We
Very
have
cool.
these giant bird head masks.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much. Guys, check us out. Twitter,
Facebook,
YouTube. Yeah, so we will see you next time on Nerd Necessities Network.
I want to high five it.